this assignment, we are going to use conditional formatting to analyze the Chicago Cubs record for the last 21 years. So in order to do this, first we have a couple things that we need to copy into other cells. So in column A, you'll see it says year 2020. If we click on that and then copy that, they're all going to say 2020. So what we need to do is in the cell A3, we're going to type in 2019. Now we'll click and drag over 2020 and 2019 so they turn like that light blue. And when you let go, you should see the little blue box in the bottom right corner. Put your cursor over it so it changes to a plus sign. And now when you drag it down all the way down to row 22, it will count down the years from 2020 all the way down to 2000. For the Chicago Cubs, this is going to stay the same, so we can just click on it and we can copy it all the way down to row 22. So after this, in column C, we have how many games were played that season. In column D, we have how many wins the Cubs had. In column E, how many losses they had. And then in column F, we need to figure out a win-loss percentage for them. So to figure out the win-loss percentage, we're going to use this formula. Equals, and then we're going to click on the number of wins, so cell D2, and then we're going to divide by the number of games. So my formula is equals D2 divided by C2, and then I hit enter, and it gives me this decimal. I want to take that decimal and I want to change it to a percent. So up here on your toolbar, you can click on the percent sign. It says format as percent, and now it changed it to 56.67%. Now we can copy that and drag it all the way down to the bottom. And now we just have our win-loss percentage for all of the years. Now we are going to start our conditional formatting. So the first thing we need to do is select the data for the column that we want to use for conditional formatting. So we could, in column D, we want to format the wins. So we could click and drag over just the numbers that we have in this, or we could also just click on the whole column, keeping in mind that if we ever added any numbers below this, it would also include those as well. So after we've selected column D, you're going to go to Format, and then we're going to go down to Conditional Formatting. And now over here on the side is where we're going to say what we want to do with this, or give it the format rules. So we have our range is D1 to D1000. The format rules, it says format cells if, and right now it defaults to is not empty. We want to do if is greater than. So if the value is greater than, and now we need to type in 90. So if the value is greater than 90, then we are going to make it blue in color. So let's click on the fill color, and let's click on a light blue. I'm going to go light cornflower blue 1. And you'll see over here on that column, any number in column D that's greater than 90 has just turned blue. And that's what we want. Let's also click on bold so that those numbers become bold. Now we're going to add another rule. So we're going to click on the plus sign. And our next rule is going to be if a number is less than, and we don't want 90 now, we want 65. We'll keep it bold, but we're going to make it, instead of blue, we're going to make it a light red. So I'm going to do light red 1. And now you'll see all the numbers in this column that are less than 65 have turned red. So I can click done. And now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for column E. So click on column E, but this is losses. So we want to, when a team has a good season, they have fewer losses. So our conditional formatting for this one, we're going to go to Format, Conditional Formatting, and now we have our range E1 to E1000. And for this one, we're going to do if it is less than, so if a cell is less than 70, we're going to make it blue, light blue. So again, the reason that we want it light blue, or the reason we want to turn the low values blue, is it's better to have fewer losses, the opposite of wins. Now let's click on add another rule, and this one is going to be greater than, and if they had greater than 90, we're going to make it red. So you don't want a lot of losses. And you should be able to see those change over here, and then click done. So columns D and E are now conditionally formatted. Well, now we're going to do one more conditional formatting on column F. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and click on column F. So we've highlighted that. Then we're going to go to Format, Conditional Formatting, and up here instead of single color, we want to click on Color Scale. And now the default is this kind of green color, and it also, the minimum value is darker. We want to have the maximum value be the darker color because we want to highlight the better seasons they had. So let's go ahead and we'll turn this just to white for minimum value. We're going to go down here for maximum value, and we're going to pick like a gold color or a yellow. So let's do dark yellow number 1. And now when I click that on max value, you'll see the higher the number here, or the higher the percentage, the darker the color is. So that means that was their best win-loss percentage. And then as the color gets a lighter shade, they did worse and worse. So if, for example, this one right here, they lost 101 games this year, so they only won 37% of their games. So that's why it's white in color. And this one right here, they won 63% of their games, so that's why it's the darkest yellow in color. So you can click done when you have that. And when your spreadsheet looks like this, where you have conditional formatting in cells D, E, and F, then you may go ahead and turn it in.